Following podcast contains strong language, graphic violence, and Bill Paxton. Viewer discretion is advised.
Would you like some candy?
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 4 a.m. podcast, the podcast about movies, snacks, and all things nerdy. I am your getting too old for this shit editor-in-chief, Rob. Yeah, that's me. And I am joined by my crew of degenerates.
I'm one ugly motherfucker, Tony.
I am Breek from Jamaica.
Jesus.
I'm old pussy mouth.
And I'm too old for this shit.
And we've been canceled. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
My mouth is open and everything. Good gravy. So we watched Predator 2, the sequel to Predator.
Ooh.
Which was, we did that for like, was it an anniversary episode of some
Predator?
type? Or we just rolled up?
I think we rolled Predator pretty early on in the series. I think in like the teens of episodes. Like it was real
Really?
early in the
Okay.
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember if there was an occasion or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I know we did Aliens for our 100?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Predator 2. Who here has seen this film previously?
I have many times.
I had many times, but only the TV edit.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I'd always see it on HBO.
I've seen this film. I have the Sega Genesis game. I have the comic book adaptation with the boobies in it.
By the time it got to the Sega Genesis, did LGN or LJN still have a stranglehold on the Predator franchise? Because I know the Nintendo LJN Predator game for the first one is barely playable.
Oh, I think that's true of most Predator games. Predator
Well,
And
well,
LGN.
Genesis.
Well, that's it. Because most movie franchises were made by LJN, and their games were like always horribly underdeveloped.
Yeah, I don't recall.
I remember that Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Nintendo game, A, he was wearing pink the whole time, and B, he could not punch when he ducked.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if you know this about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mm-hmm. Cannot punch when he's crouched.
Yeah.
Like once, even if he bends his knee like a little bit, his
do
arm
it.
just doesn't go. Yeah. It turns out his whole body is just one continuous muscle. And if it's,
Once it's flexed.
Yeah,
if he's exerting force in one area, he can't. Doesn't have the flexibility. Anyway, so this is all of ours except one of us.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, first time for
This is
this guy.
second week in a row we got one of those movies that we quoted all the time.
Do we quote this one all the time?
Well, this one dropped off a lot faster, but I distinctly remember as a kid we would always yell at each other, "Take the fucking elf or take the fuzzy elephant." And you got a big nose and you're sticking it in my business.
There's that, yeah, I can quote that. Remember, we have the other side. We did that a couple of times.
That
too, I think.
probably, but I think my brain was nice enough to forget.
Oh, I remember all, man. From the other side. All right.
Cannot see what is not meant to be seen.
Tell us about two predators and a little lady.
I kind of wish that was the movie.
That's a
now.
porn.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking something else entirely.
Oh, Chris
Bum,
is back,
bum,
everybody.
bum, bum.
Predator
Suffers.
34.
So, yeah, this came out in 1990. It was directed by Stephen Hopkins, who got the job because he wowed everyone with his skills on Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child.
Yeah.
That's like one of the worst ones. Yeah.
He went on to do things like Judgment Night and Blown Away and Lost in Space.
Also a
Wow.
porn.
Great stuff. So yeah,
What about Blown Away on Judgment Night?
That's also a porn.
Just they.
that is directed by Dick Chasen. Anyway, John McTiernan did not come back to direct this one because at that point he was too expensive because he was doing bigger and better things.
Like what?
Porn.
Yeah, we'll just say that for now.
Okay.
I'll tell you in a moment. 'Cause
Nah,
I
it's
can't
fine.
think. But apparently the Jamaican gang in this was based on a real Jamaican gang that was terrorizing New York in the 80s.
Loosely, I hope.
I would imagine so. They didn't specify.
I don't
But,
know. I think there's a lot of bone throwing there.
this was the first movie where we actually call it a predator. They had typically before that been known as the hunter or hunters, but Gary Busey does drop the line saying it's a predator.
He drops a lot of things.
Major, yeah. This movie came out around the time of the invention of the NC-17 rating, and it gave it a lot of trouble. And apparently there were like 20 different edits of this movie to try and keep it down from an NC-17 rating because of all the blood and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 'cause, again, keep in mind, you did not see that cut. So we got a lot of gore,
Yeah.
but there was a lot more
Oh,
that
that's
they
fine.
took out.
I'm just like, couldn't they have been like, all right, what if we just take out the fucking? Cool if we just take out the fucking.
No, it's still 1990. Like that's important that it be there.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, the titties, yes. I don't know about the full-fledged fucking.
Also,
Well, there's still softcore fun.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I'll grant you. We did not see any peen entering any gene, but
We really didn't even see hips grinding together, so it was like
I
was close.
disagree with that.
It was obnoxious screaming and bouncing.
Obnoxious screaming and bouncing.
bricks.
also
how
known
Brick
as a
views
good
romance.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I think it's important to note that this is why I brought up this is also around the invention of the NC-17 rating. So my guess is they were going real hard on everything. But
We made up this rating. We gotta put it on something.
something like that.
Tag, you're a predator too.
They also had a lot of trouble with shooting, like some of those alley scenes were actually shot in New York, in Los Angeles, in shitty alleys.
Also, pretty much everyone with a gun who wasn't Danny Glover in this movie had trouble with shooting.
Yeah,
That's why they all had laser sights.
They didn't use them.
not to effect at least. But like all those alleys full of trash were actually full of trash. They actually removed most of the trash. And I believe I couldn't quite find if it was. I'm assuming it had to be the King Willie scene, but they had to clear out a bunch of trash in there, in that alleyway, at which they found a dead body.
Oh,
Okay.
that's how you know it's authentic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what year was this again?
1990.
Yeah.
1990.
And then when they were trying to film, all the people that lived in the surrounding area did not like all the chaos and commotion and noise that they were making. So they would like hang out windows, throw bottles at the people, and bags of feces.
Okay. That's great.
And also, I'm surprised you didn't make us watch this.
New York, New
Assuming you
York.
do know about it. The Predator Dance Party.
What?
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
actually know about this.
Okay.
This is a new
Really?
information. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. I know I've seen it online at some point, but there is that end scene with all the predators.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
Danny
this
Glover
now.
did a video with them, and they're just all dancing and having a party.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, want to guess at the budget this movie had?
$40 million.
A lot of stuff happened in this movie. A lot of
$40
different scenes,
million
a lot of explosions.
dollars. And would someone pass me the Jolly Ranchers?
$45 million.
Please and thank you. There it is.
$42 million.
Wow, that was a bold move.
All right, yeah, we're cutting it close here.
These might have been my favorite thing.
John,
I'll bump it to 50.
Let's go into Rob. It was $30 million.
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
I want to guess how much it made.
$80 million.
You can go with 100. It probably didn't make that much.
$90 million.
85.
It's 57.
No.
Wow.
Golly.
I don't think anyone won that.
Yeah.
No. And that's why we didn't get another Predator movie for a while after this.
How did it make so little?
How?
Yeah.
That is
I
surprising.
mean, I guess we're gonna spend the next couple hours talking about this.
No, I
The
mean,
next
like,
couple of hours.
spoiler alert, I know the movie's bad. I just mean, like, just off the good graces of the first movie, I would think it would make more than that. Like, word of mouth didn't really travel that quickly, but, well, I guess if, like, a TV reviewer gave it a shit review, it might just tank immediately, but...
Well, yeah, I think, you also have other things to factor. Like, yes, it's a Predator sequel, but it's one without Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sure that, might have hurt some of it. Things like that. The director change, and, also, I don't know how well they did with marketing and whatnot, but, like, I know well enough to know that there was a bunch of shit, like, on the comics we would read and whatever, but yeah, it just, I'm sure it wasn't quite living up to the original, so.
That's fair. I'm personally glad they didn't drag Arnold Schwarzenegger back out for another one, but...
And they wanted him for this.
Well, of course.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right.
I think it was
They
a small part.
they referenced the first one.
Yes.
So
So who did we get in this film?
A lot of people. A lot of podcast veterans here.
Who important?
Alonzo people?
We had I don't know if Kevin Peter Hall has been 3 times yet. I know he was the Predator in the first one, but I don't know if he's been here. Oh wait, he was in Big Trouble in Little China. He was someone, right?
Oh,
one of the
I
monsters?
don't remember that, but I do believe he was Harry and Harry in the Hendersons.
Oh, correct.
So.
Yep. All right. So podcast veteran Kevin Peter Hall, podcast veteran Danny Glover,
You son of a bitch.
making at least his 3rd appearance on this. Podcast veteran Gary Busey.
Lethal Weapon, Going Fishing.
Oh, Gone
Yeah,
Fishing.
don't
Oh,
forget about
God.
Gone Fishing.
I forgot all about Gone Fishing.
I feel like there's got to be more, but anyway.
He's Lieutenant Mike Harrigan. Then we have Gary Busey as Peter Keyes, essentially just Gary Busey,
Yeah.
who's been on the podcast a ton of times, at least for
I'm sure we'll see him again.
what was the Ice-T movie? It's Not the Most Dangerous Game. It was like it had that body count song. It's like Hard Target or not Hard
Not Hard
Target.
Target.
Hard to Kill or no?
Whatever that
That was
movie
a
was.
Steven Seagal movie.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't remember it because it was one of those super generic, could be any one of these movies' names.
And Lethal Weapon.
does Busey usually play an asshole character?
Yeah, generally.
That's his.
All right.
That's his speciality.
Well, he's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
The brain damage helps.
For some reason, in that like
Point Break too, right?
generic. Oh yeah, Point Break. Yep, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. 2.
Give me 2. Fucked up the stakeout on chili dogs. Let's see. Then you got Bill Paxton, another podcast veteran, and as far as I know, the only man who has been killed by an alien, a predator, and a Terminator.
Yep.
I believe so. Yeah, I think he holds that.
Or
Or maybe one
at
other
least-
person might have that.
Yeah,
credit
probably
now.
at least for big names like that. Mm-hmm. There might be, I'm sure there's stuntmen and whatnot, but
Yeah.
And I'll always shout out a Firefly cast member when I recognize one's Adam Baldwin as Garber.
Yeah. Great. So,
Jane Cobb up in the
it
house.
might not mean like anything to you, but that means something to people like me and Joe who
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah. While I was watching this movie, I was like, wait a minute. That's a fucking Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
John
that's
did call it
fucking
out.
Jane. God damn it.
that's why this
Yep.
table has a puzzle piece etched into it.
It's funny because John called that out, which I already knew because I had, just in looking up stuff and whatever. But also during that, me and Rob clocked the other guy in the van who is just like I can't even properly describe because I think I best know him from Grace Under Fire. If anyone even remembers that as a thing, but and like Home Improvement and shit like that. He just plays it like a general and like a dad a lot.
Yeah, in my brain, I just saw him as like a dad with Hulk Hogan hair and a bunch of things. Yeah.
I don't remember the Hulk Hogan hair, but yeah, sure.
I don't know. That like Craig T. Nelson kind of like balding in the top and still mulleting around. Anyway.
It's called the Skullet.
Yeah. Yes.
It's called the Hogan. Thank you very much. Talk about Predator 2.
All right. So this movie begins with some jungle noises and then some jungle-esque drums and then some trees. We were like, are we back in the jungle?
Oh, wait,
there's a
lots
road.
of roads.
Oh, wait, that's Los Angeles, 1997.
It's the concrete jungle.
Yep, the concrete jungle. And
Distant future.
as in many movies, like the Stallone Wesley Snipes one, Demolition Man. Yeah. 1997 Los Angeles is a fucking war zone.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, 1997
yeah.
Los Angeles was a war zone.
But I mean, it's like failed state level gang warfare.
We'll get there soon.
Yeah,
They're just a little behind on the timetable, but it's out.
So we see some infrared vision after we get the Predator title card, and we see it's a gang shootout with the cops. And there's a news reporter trying to tell us what's going on, but a bullet flies by her, and she's like, fuck this, live on the air, and runs away. Some cops are like, hey, we got these shields that are bulletproof. Some Colombian guy's got a grenade launcher. He's like, are they grenade proof? And they're like, no. And we get Tony Pope showing up live with Hardcore. And he's talking about how the cops can't control this. They're too incompetent. And the mayor's off on vacation in Lake Tahoe. And, it's hardcore.
Is this the first appearance of Morton Downey Jr. on this podcast?
I think so.
Wow.
Possibly not, but
he's an awful looking man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They just they went in all in on teeth for this movie.
Mm.
Yeah, he generally plays a douche rag in pretty much everything.
Yeah, but he just looks gross. Like he looks like he smells like cigarettes and like booze,
stale.
Yeah, like probably like his hands are brown and
like if he's walking down the street and they come to a corner and like someone else comes on the other side of the corner and they just see each other suddenly. Mm-hmm. Out of 10, how many times do you think he gets punched in the face?
Punched in the face?
Yeah.
I honestly think they just cross the other side of the street.
No, I mean it's like you came around the corner, he came around the corner, you're right there.
Yeah,
gut reaction.
I think most people just turn around and walk away. Like just double back, like one of those little, like a Roomba hitting a wall.
I'm gonna say 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
fair amount of face punches.
I just feel like
just instinctive, like bah, just hit him, and then you're like, oh.
That includes punches, slaps, purse whacks,
whatever.
Maybe purse
I
whacks.
almost did that to Alyssa.
Whacked her with a purse.
No, just like surprise punched her.
Okay,
She
all right.
snuck up on me.
We'll talk about your. All right.
I don't think I've ever seen you actually legitimately be startled by someone sneaking up on you. Because I've gotten the drop on you before. It's hard, but I've done it, and you're just like,
Alyssa,
We only do that for Valentine's Day.
just text me.
So Danny Glover literally just crashes onto the scene. He just drives a car into another car.
One thing is, she doesn't listen and won't hear that, but he will.
John doesn't listen to the episodes again.
He just
ones
listens
he's
to them
been
while
on.
they're being recorded.
Once I've been on, I don't listen.
I think I'm the only one
I
here
lived
who
it.
listens to the episodes that, I was on.
When we're live, half the time he's asleep. Like,
All right, so there's some bike cops that are shot in the middle of the road. They have to save them. Danny Glover, we see his car has a whole arsenal in the trunk.
They're all pistols, aren't
yeah.
they?
Well, later on we see it's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
At this stage, I think it is all just pistols.
Well, what he takes off of the hood of the trunk is actually a shotgun
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he does have the
that
shotgun.
has been sawed off into a pistol grip, but technically it is a shotgun.
So he outfits a cop car with his sidekick here, Danny Boy. They cover it in bulletproof vests, and he knocks a door off of it, and he drives it up and does like a power slide. So now there's a bulletproof wall here. And they get the cops and they retreat while Danny Glover runs around and he flanks these guys and he takes his shotgun and just murders the shit out of these.
He just kills everybody.
5 like Colombian gang members that are shooting at the cops. So the other 5 run inside the building, and you see they have a whole fucking arsenal here. Like, this is enough to equip like a company of guys. Mm-hmm. It's like assault rifles, like
there was
huge
a 50
shotguns.
cal.
Yeah, there was at least one M60 machine gun. There were grenade launchers.
Many bullets.
And so many sewing machines.
Lots of sewing machines. And what you call it? Their leader, like, after he gets his guns, he fucking cokes up hard.
Oh, yeah.
Just takes a big snort of this stuff. It's all over him.
It's a little bit of courage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think he did that twice.
Listen,
I'm remembering, like, he went in there and he just grabs a handful of powder and just pounds it in his nose.
If
and
you're
then
gonna
there's
have
another one where he takes it out of, like, a little compact case or something like that.
Yeah. If you're going to have a shootout with the cops, you might as well be having a shootout with dinosaurs.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, the sergeant of the SWAT team, he's like, Danny Glover, you can't go in there. Chief Heineman, Jamie Heineman, does not want you to go in there.
Oh, God. Could you imagine?
Oh, boy.
And
Just sitting there with that mustache.
they're like, fuck it, I'm going in. I'm Danny Glover. I'll do what I want. They bust in. But little do these goons know, they're waiting for the cops to bust in, but they don't know there's a predator on the ceiling.
Oh.
A big wavy man just falls down on them. And we hear a bunch of screaming and a bunch of shooting and a bunch of dying. And by the time the cops get there, there's only one guy left.
Yeah.
The primary cokehead, coke fiend number 1. Busts out. El Scorpio busts out with 2 mini Uzis and guns down one of the SWAT team guys who, like, I came along just to die. It's like, all right, red shirt, you're with us.
He's all like, I'm pretty sure I can fly now, so I'm going to go to this roof.
Yep. So, yeah, he runs to the roof. Danny Glover's like, hey, man, don't move or I'm going to shoot you. And he's like, there's a fucking predator right there behind you. And he goes to shoot the predator. Danny Glover shoots him. He falls off the roof onto a picnic table.
Right onto
Just bucket of guacamole.
Yeah, just fat chat red card right there.
Yards of nothing but asphalt all around, and he lands exactly on this picnic table. However, that picnic table took it like a champ.
Yeah.
Now, if that's one of those, like, the hardcore ones with the benches built into it, like, you could hit that with a car and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. But, I mean, honestly, this might be Fat Chat skills. This might be big ups. Like, maybe guacamole's his favorite dish, and he was like, yeah.
Oh, that's like a death or glory attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
My final meal.
I think I could get that.
Ish.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still feeling he's penalized. He ruined that meal for everyone. That wasn't just for him.
He did, but that meal was like in a shitty parking lot next to
It was already ruined.
Yeah, it's
109 degrees.
109
that
degrees.
guac was going bad fast.
Yeah.
109.
Horse flies stuck
That's
in
true. Yeah, it's already ruined. So. All right, he saved people from having to eat it then.
Oh, speaking
I
of...
say red card to whoever put that out there at some point. I don't even know.
But, speaking of Fat Chat,
Yeah.
not to date the show, but we are recording on Pi Day. So
Oh.
Why didn't we have a
go
fucking
get you some pie.
pie?
We had peanut butter pie Reese's.
Oh, I guess technically those are pies.
All right. So, Danny Glover looks directly at this wavy, bendy light man that we know is the predator. And he's rightfully so. He's like, the stress is getting to me. I'm losing it.
He thinks it's a heat mirage.
Yeah.
Which, in fairness, Predator does look like a fucking heat mirage.
Yep.
Spoopy ghost.
The predator's just like, I'm not going to kill you yet, Danny Glover.
Yeah, for some reason, I've done enough killing right now.
Yeah.
I fulfilled my quota for the day.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also like who's doing the most killing, or who he sees doing the most killing.
Oh, so he maybe saw him take that guy down. Was like, I'm gonna save this for a fair fight, kind of a deal.
Well,
Could be.
I feel like at this point he killed the people he came there to kill. Now he's just like, I'm just gonna watch them kill each other. You know.
Okay, all right.
Well, I think it's also like, those guys were, proving to be a menace, or whatever you want to call it. So he's like, that's a fight. I'm going to take these guys out. And he does it. Danny Glover just happens to show up during it. So he didn't even, he's not even on his radar till then.
It's kind of like in the first Predator, the Predator didn't start killing the soldiers till after they proved that they were hardcore.
Yeah.
So
Danny still needs to prove that he is a threat or some kind of challenge.
I think Predator was gonna go kill him, and then Ken Watanabe came out and said, "No, let them fight."
So, what should we call it? The Chief Heineman shows up, and it's that guy that's in a lot of 80s action movies that's like, hero cop, stop doing what you're doing and let someone else fuck this up for a while.
You're out of control.
Then go back and do the thing you're doing that's working.
Out of control, McGonagall.
Yeah.
I like your results, but you gotta play by the book.
Just picturing Kung Fury now when Hitler calls the police station and shoots everyone through a phone.
All right.
Oh, you've never seen Kung Fury?
I've never seen
Oh my God.
Oh,
okay.
it's great.
Like literally that line is in it that you just said. Like that's what the police commissioner says
Oh,
before he gets shot by Hitler.
Fair enough.
All right. So
That old thing.
I'll add it to my to-see list.
Oh yeah.
all right. So now the Chief Heineman, he's pissed. He's yelling at Danny Glover's character, who we now learn is Detective Hartigan, and Mike Hartigan. And their argument is diffused by the arrival of
Yeah, I'm
Busey.
hard again.
And they're both like, shut up, stand still. I don't think he sees movement. He'll just go in the building and then we can run. And so they avoid Busey for now. And then
Getting hard again.
Does anyone have a chew block for him?
so we cut back to the police station. It is chaos. There's just way too many people in here saying way too much stuff, and everyone can only talk in police cliches. Except for Bill Paxton, who will say whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, damn right. Damn right.
And all of it will be terrible.
It just looks like the line of people waiting to get into a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
Well,
Including the large man headbutting police officers.
Yes. Same outfit.
He's a very
And-
excited Swiftie.
And the prostitutes.
And the
And the
prostitutes.
prostitutes.
Or any given Walmart.
So now, we see Bill Paxton's here, Detective Jerry Lambert, and he, he goes to try to talk to the lieutenant here, and Hartigan's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I got to go get yelled at. So he goes and gets yelled at, and then, Gary Busey shows up.
oh God, the teeth.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm in charge. We'll be respectful. We'll cooperate. I'll let you do your thing. Turns out if you break my rules, there really aren't consequences.
No.
And if you break them enough, I'll just tell you what's going on and
Right.
let you be part of it.
But Dan,
Yeah.
You pester me enough, I'll just give you whatever you want. Yeah.
you throw
And
me
don't
against
you
the wall
forget
a
it.
few times, I'll give you whatever.
Wow.
But no, I'm growing a clone. He's going to show up in the sequel, and then there's going to be trouble.
You keep getting up on the wrong side of the teeth, my friend.
I'm just picturing Gary Busey and his Busey clone eating something terrible, but having that Lady and the Tramp moment.
Oh, yeah.
where their mouths meet.
I mean, with their teeth, they could finish each other's ends first.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the creation of the, damn it.
I'll try that again.
No, what is that? The snake eating its own tail.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. I always want to say Aurora Borealis. I know it's wrong.
It's very
That
different.
just destroys that name in my head.
It's the beast with two backs, if you know what I mean.
And while I was joking, I wasn't too. There was some truth to that because I believe it's the Predator, where that CIA company or whatever is controlled by Jake Busey.
Yeah, so about that, that is true. I believe that organization is supposed to be the same organization, the ALF.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So
100%.
it leads me to see, oh, well, we have a discrepancy here because predators in the past have obviously encountered a Busey before.
Mm-hmm.
So they should already know that autism is not, in fact, the key to evolution.
What?
God damn that movie.
It is the worst.
Yeah, it's that's not even Rob being Rob. Like that's
yeah.
in the fucking movie. Anyway, so
Okay.
now here's
A lot of stuff.
here's one of my bigger problems with this movie is there's not really, other than the fact that it's Gary Busey, there's not really any indication that these guys are up to something all that shady. Like they're a government task force up to something, and the cops should just be like, okay, that's one less thing we have to worry about.
I
Well,
feel
they're
like
disrespecting his authority.
I feel like each time you encounter their squad, though, there's more evidence that they're up to something
But-
nefarious.
He should have only really encountered him like
Once. Yeah.
and been like, okay, you're you're feds from high up, you got authority on this. I'm gonna go worry about something else.
Right, I'm going to go worry about these drug
I'm
cartels.
gonna worry about not getting shot by a bunch of gang members.
Well, it was because we're getting ahead here, but it was because he sent Danny in to investigate where they shouldn't have been
Yeah.
investigating,
But I
and then
think-
it became personal.
Yep.
I think Joe's point is that why would he have
It never
even
should have-
bothered
Because
investigating?
he's a fucking nosy detective.
Here's the real thing. As much as
got a big nose.
I love him and everything,
Yeah, he's got a big nose and he's putting it too far.
as much as I love him and
Busey's
everything,
business.
he is a terrible cop, and he's just,
Yeah.
he bumblefucks his way through everything in this movie.
Like-
he causes most of the
Yeah.
problems, and then he
Well, that-
solves them at the end.
That's it. He's our protagonist, but I don't think he's a good guy.
No,
Oh, no.
they read
Yeah.
his profile. It's like, yeah, he's prone to wild fits of violent
Yes.
rage.
Yeah.
excessive force.
But
Yeah.
damn it, he gets results.
Like, what?
By the way, when you're talking about excessive force, it's at least partially shown, because halfway through this, I mentioned like how a vast majority of this movie is Danny Glover's Harrison or whatever. Hardigan, sorry. Like something happens and then he has to be somewhere else, so he just shoves his way through people
Yeah.
for no reason. Like there's no emergency or anything. He's just like, fuck, I gotta get somewhere. Move.
It's nice being Danny Glover's
Yeah.
size. You could just push through people.
And Tony,
Just-
if you're having a hard time remembering, just do what I do. Think of Willie Nelson with an erection.
What?
Hard again.
I can't wait to go get hard again.
So, all right, now Bill Paxton is running his yapper more, and he's talking to the woman in the team, Leona,
Gonna split those
and she
cheeks
just outright
apart.
grabs his dick, just straight up assaults Bill Paxton.
Well,
That's
because
how I
yeah.
created you.
he was one step away from sexually assaulting her.
he was
so-
one step
Yeah.
closer to the edge.
So she beat him.
She broke.
She broke. Yeah.
It's preemptive reverse assault.
So then,
she could squeeze my nuts. So it's-
so then, what you call it, Lambert here, or Lambert? He's not Lambert. Don't Lambert this man.
If we get a Christopher Lambert in this movie, there's
Oh,
no
man.
stopping us.
I could not handle the gravel.
Highlander versus Predator.
You cannot stop what cannot be killed.
I'm here to tell you a little story.
I could see that the crossover being like the Predators just take him somewhere and hunt him like forever. So they're like, oh, you could kill this dude and he comes back. It's awesome.
The
He's
Predator
training
does
practice.
have the quickening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did see that.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Although the Predator would cut his head off.
Yeah.
And that would kill him.
Yeah.
Although if the spinal column's still attached, I guess the head isn't cut off.
All right, what if
Yeah, no, I think
The,
that counts.
no,
Yeah.
the spinal column comes off.
what if they
Yeah.
just greased him up real good? Just made him real hard to catch.
Like a greasy Lambert.
Yeah, just run, then
That's-
they could just run him around
That's
forever.
standard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just run him around forever, chase him around. It'd be like touch football. They wouldn't actually kill him. They just run around and slap him.
So
I just like the idea of redoing this movie, and instead of Jamaican gangs, it's Scottish people.
Yeah, okay. Can they be wearing the same clothes?
No, they're all in
same
kilts.
wig.
Scottish drug gang.
Yeah.
I just got sillies. I'm Atlanta.
the fucking haggis runners.
Yeah.
That is illegal in the United States. So now Lambert limps into the office. He's like, "Hey, I'm your new guy." Hardigan's like, "I'm going to give you my speech. You know, you're part of the team. Blah blah blah. Cliche, cliche, cliche." And then it's like, "All right, you want to cut to some wild ass fucking?" Yes.
Sorry, I just now hit me. It's just the car shows up. And Groundskeeper Willie will see you now.
So
The oodles are sweet. It's always the same.
so
The red man.
we just hear loud moaning, and we crash zoom from far away into the window of this Colombian gang leader's penthouse, and there's a woman just violently
playing
bouncing
pop,
up and
pop,
down on him, just titties full out. Everything's there to be
There's
seen.
Bush.
There's Bush.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's you get the whole show.
You don't even know what song they're playing.
No. And then, that's immediately interrupted by a gang of Jamaicans storms the place, kills his guards, and hangs him upside down real quick. In this movie, anyone could hang anyone else upside down real fast.
Yeah.
Just with you slip the editor like a quarter, boom, he's up there.
In Soviet Jamaica, we fuck you.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
The views and opinions.
so the
I was
head
just thinking
Jamaican
we now
guy...
need to figure out his Doritos.
The head Jamaican guy has like a face-off style 2 golden gun thing going on here, but they're 6-shooters. Oh no!
Oh, that was a creaker.
Yeah, gas has been passed. And he's gonna deliver a message from King Willie. He's like, "Not only am I gonna kill you, I'm gonna take your soul." And he paints him up and starts to cut his heart out. And the Predator's just like, "Hey, I'm the one around here who does that."
That's my thing.
And we get all the Predator classics plus some new things. He's got new toys to play with. He's got a net gun that burrows into a dude.
That nut gun is cool.
Yeah,
I like that thing.
Pins you to the wall and starts tightening and tightening.
Yeah.
He's got a forked dart he fired out of his wrist. That hits a dude right in the head. He's got his standard ripper claws. He's cutting people out with that. He's got a telescoping spear.
It's got the shoulder-mounted cannon still,
And he kills all these guys.
real fast.
Yep, real easy. Leaves the lady though.
Yeah.
She's not a problem.
Nope.
Not a threat.
Cops show up.
Kills them too. No.
Yeah, and Tony Pope, he's there first. And he's just like, "Hey, give me
see them
titties. I hear there's titties up there." and Hardigan's like, "Bill Paxton, get him."
And Bill Paxton's like, titties?
So Bill Paxton just starts talking to him about nothing. He's like, "And I'm not going to stop till you grab my dick."
Done and done.
So then, the rest of them go upstairs, and they see there's everyone in there skinned except for the guy that the Jamaicans killed, and that's he's the most important guy in the room. Why didn't he skin him? What the hell happened here? There must be a new player in town.
It's Batman. He's running around skinning people.
Killing Colombians, he's killing Jamaicans, and they're like,
Hangs him
"Look,
up
there's."
like a bat.
Yeah, he had a rough start, all right? He had to figure things out.
I think whoever killed all these people fired their bottle opener up into the grate above. And suddenly you get a semi-alienish sound as these crazy spotlights turn on, and a wild Gary Busey appears. And,
Teeth gleaming in the
oh yeah, illuminated by these spotlights.
When you say spotlights and weird sound, you mean Gary Busey.
Well,
That
yeah,
was just-
yeah.
He opened his mouth and that's what comes out.
Well, that's Gary Busey's containment team as well.
Release the
His
Busey.
handlers.
Don't let him get in the shadows. If you lose sight of him, that's when he attacks.
I'll scab you to death.
He was in the crate at the beginning of Jurassic Park.
So, Keys here, Gary Busey. He's like, yo, when someone says, don't go in there, don't go in there. I could kill you. You can disappear. And, Hardigan's just like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to continue to disobey you. And he's like, well, if you keep doing that, I'm just going to tell you what's going on and make you part of it.
Listen, if you keep doing that, you're going to get multiple people on your staff killed, and then you're going to get more upset, and then you're going to do it more.
Your threats are no match for my grizzledness.
The naked lady, though, does, they give her like a blanket, and she does reveal that the devil came for them.
Yeah.
And now,
And then one of the cops said, well, of course they did. Y'all sinning like that.
It's the devil, man. The devil of Hell's Kitchen.
I don't see no ring.
so, now Hardigan, he sends Lambert to follow the feds around. He's like, see what they do with that girl.
He's a distant relative of Lambert from Alien.
Maybe, yeah. So then Harrington's like, all right, Danny, meet me here at 1 a.m. and we're going to do a whole bunch of shit we shouldn't do. I will get you killed.
Oh, don't do that. Devil's going to come for you.
Don't go in without me.
Yep.
Which, in movie terms, means definitely go inside.
Yeah.
Go and die,
Go in there
please.
and get killed.
And get killed before I get there.
That is what Hardigan taught him.
So Hardigan goes to meet back with Lambert at a bar instead of like their office or whatever, and see the video that sure enough they did just take the lady that survived that scene and just flew her out on a helicopter to who knows where.
They're gonna put her in a cell with the other Latin lady that saw the predator and flew away in a helicopter.
And probably Dutch.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I don't know. I think Dutch's clearance
And the
level.
leader, but you won't see him for another 20 years.
Well, I think it's kind of more like a Conan scene. Remember when he's in the cell and they bring the woman to him?
Oh, that's
What's happening with Dutch right now.
that's his future.
You guys are gonna make someone who could survive the predator next time he comes.
Well, one of the ideas floating around was for Dutch to be in this, as I mentioned. And one of the things was he was going to be dying of some kind of radiation poisoning from the explosion.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That's good. Just our hero from the last one, just piss on him. That worked so well in Alien Cubes.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's
Yeah.
Guys,
like
remember
half
the
the
hero from the
time.
last movie? Cut to a fucking hospital bed.
All right, so now Danny Boy sneaks into the crime scene on his own, does not wait for Harrington. And he goes and he climbs up to go get that bottle opener that he saw lodged in
He
the
climbs up
heating
a
bed.
pillar covered in blood.
Yep. Just climbs on up there. And we get the weirdest kill of the movie because the Predator, first off, he shows up and he's like, Danny Boy. Danny Boy freaks out.
He's Scottish, I'm telling you. He
Yeah.
starts singing Danny Boy to him.
And, well, I'd be Irish.
Well, yeah.
He stands up too fast and starts falling over. And the Predator's like, whoa, dude, you're going to fall. And like catches him and pulls him back up. And we don't see what happens, but I'm pretty sure the Predator was just like, are you okay? And Danny pulled out his gun and tried to shoot him.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Because if he falls and dies, it doesn't count as the predator's kill.
I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a weird, like, I saved you, then I killed you kind of moment. And we get Danny's, like, necklace falls on the ground, and then, like, someone from, like, 10 feet up spurts some, like, ketchup out of the bottle onto it.
My anus is bleeding.
And then, what the hell? Oh,
My anus is bleeding.
So one thing I forgot to mention is that Tony Pope got into the damn crime scene somehow.
Yeah.
So all right, first off, he grabbed Lambert's dick, but like, you know, not the first person
That's
to
how you
do
get
that.
in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
It's
guess
like a doorknob.
Yeah, because the other cops are like, I don't want him to do that to me, so I guess he can go in.
Yeah, he's down a clown. No, he just skittered
Yeah.
up the side of the building.
And he gets these recordings of the federal task force, the skinned bodies, and all this shit. And I just assumed, all right, he's out of the movie. Like they're liquidating that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get
they
back
took
to
that-
him later.
Took that camera, smashed it open.
Yeah.
Took the film, smashed that open.
Yeah, the bare minimum, that camera is in an incinerator or something. So now back at the police station, you know, we find out Danny's dead and like Harrington isn't going to get charged, but he should. Like, you know, be careful, Harrington. Don't go messing around with keys. Immediately goes messing around with keys. Slaps the air in front of Gary Busey's face, which is a good way to get bit. Yeah, at that point,
Reflexive, like, ow!
yeah, the judge was like, no, man, why would you even do that? Like, you know he can't help himself.
You're gonna scare those birds that pick the.
Yeah, that live in his mouth.
Yeah, fuck the predator. Start dangling fingers in front of Gary Busey's face. You're gonna lose him.
And then he walks by, and Tony Pope is on the news showing skinned bodies and like federal task forces, and it's just, how the fuck did he like ram it up his ass before the cops grabbed him? Like,
Sure.
how did that? No,
The entire camcorder.
the federal task force would even check that. Like, I don't know.
It's 1997, man.
Yeah.
It's anybody's game.
I guess it's Morton Downey Jr. He's like, do you really want to investigate my ass? Like, you know.
You think I smell bad?
You think I smell that on the
On the
outside?
outside. I mean, it's also possible that I don't know the whole situation, but if the video camera was like broadcasting somewhere else, so he didn't even have the recording.
I don't know if they had
well-
that technology back then.
Well, but it was, this was 1990.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be 1997.
1997.
Yeah.
So there was
Yeah.
future tech here.
Yeah.
He did have a
It's
little
a different
hand-
world, my friend.
He did have a little handheld camera in addition to the big camera.
Yeah, I
that he
didn't
was
know
using.
what that was. I didn't know if
Might
that
have
was
been a
camera or
microphone.
microphone.
What are the cops gonna
I
do?
thought it was because it looked like it had a lens in the middle.
Cut that
I
guy
thought it was a
open
little
and let the
mini
little Kinder boy spill out.
No, whatever's inside of him has to stay there.
He's eating children and license plates.
So, now, Harrington meets up with the rest of his team. Lambert says that he followed the feds. He, they have all this like crazy stuff that evaded, all the things he tried. He lost them in the slaughterhouse district, and it smells terrible in there. He says they're also putting up all these crazy sensors around town. And then,
This also kind of aggravates me because later on we find out, I lost them in the slaughterhouse district. Later on, they're like, where are they? Oh, they're in the slaughterhouse district.
yep.
Like, what? I'm not a detective. I figured that out. Come on.
So Harrington sends Leona to get in touch with King Willie, and he wants to meet with him.
Yeah, he does.
And then we cut to a shot of just like inside some red room, where Gary Busey and co. are setting up some kind of sci-fi shit in a meat, like in a slaughterhouse somewhere. And you're like, okay, that's kind of random. And then we cut to the scientist lady that Harrington
Sucks.
took the dart to.
Frankly.
Yeah. Well, first off, she's got an awesome spectrometer. She just takes that
Yeah.
dart
And
just,
electron microscope.
just hucks it in there.
It's 1997.
Yeah, just no, doesn't even need to take a sample. Throw the whole fucking thing in there.
The future is now.
Yeah. Yeah, super electron microscope.
Oh, no buttons. You tell
Describes
it what's-
everything.
yeah.
Just let me tell you, we're now at 10,000 times zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate when movies are like, well, this is nothing that's on the periodic table. It's like, it's on the period. Like, it's got to be, how many atoms does it have? Find that on the periodic table. That's what it is. Unless it has like more than whatever, like the 116 or
Yeah, all
whatnot.
of them do.
Yeah.
But
All of the
you can't do that, Joe.
I can't.
No, because this is a movie that needs to play for all the dumb people.
Yeah.
This is beyond your petty numbers.
Yes. This is basically shorthand for it's Alien.
Yeah. Well, they should just say, I have never seen this compound before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're good.
John, question
Yep.
for you.
But Joe,
Uh-oh.
that's not dumb enough.
What do you think about if
Oh.
Morton Downey Jr. played Iron Man?
Oh wow.
Like throughout the whole MCU, like
It's a whole MCU?
the whole MCU, like up
Is he
until-
coming back as Doomsday?
No, yeah, he's coming back as Doctor Doom.
Okay. That'd be interesting. Sorry,
I mean,
sorry,
yeah,
yes, John.
less-
I'm sorry.
Less greasy and more wholesome than Robert Downey Jr.
All right, thank you.
Also surprising because he's been dead for most of it.
This has been Wake John Up. All right.
I honestly, we need to take the Citizen Kane method and just have a parakeet screech in his ear every couple hours.
I'm immune to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn it. Fuck!
He literally visits
For God's-
rooms full of screaming parakeets.
Well, yeah,
on a
and I
daily
just remembered
basis.
Phoenix.
And have one at home.
Yep.
I'm completely.
I mean, it's a cockatiel. I don't know if that'd be any better, but
So now on the way out of the lab, Lambert and Harrington are walking, and they almost get run over by a mobile hotbox. As like, they're like, "Did we mention we're Jamaican, man? The weed smoke, the ganja, it's everywhere. I don't know how we drive."
Jamaican me crazy.
Yeah,
Jamaica Mobile.
and like, they could be maybe a little bit more Jamaican, but not much more. Like, there's, it's like if you don't know, we're Jamaican.
Yeah.
And so they get in a weed-filled car, and Harrington drives off with them to go meet King Willie in an alley somewhere.
Just giving them oxtail and curry goat.
And as Tony had mentioned, I was thinking when I first saw this alley, I'm like, some PAs had to clean out all the New York trash because you just can't
LA.
or LA trash because you just can't allow people to be in that, and then had to replace it with like Hollywood trash.
Come on. It's just Danny Glover.
yeah.
You don't gotta be harsh.
Boom, boom,
But,
boom, boom.
shame.
So
I don't actually dislike Danny Glover. He was the only actor I knew the name of in the scene.
So King Willie, he thinks the Predator is a spirit from the other side. And
He's got friends on the other side.
he's a Jamaican shaman voodoo shaman character.
I am
He
a
is a
picture
Pirates
that-
of the Caribbean
Well,
character.
yeah.
I am
Picture
the
that in your
voodoo
head.
priest,
It's
man.
exactly that, like exactly what you think it
He
is.
is
There's
Captain Black Sparrow.
yeah, it's just the most stereotypical Captain Black Sparrow. One thing I will say, his Cobra sword cane was kind of cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the character. He's fun, but
Now,
I'm sure the actor's a good guy too, but just, oh my God, the ham.
the look on Danny Glover's face after Willie's done talking looks kind of like fear. But do you think that was actually just regret, where he's like, "Why did I think anything useful was going to come of this?"
prepare yourself.
He's more confused than when he was when he showed up.
Yeah.
Little
Probably
comedy,
the
column B.
context.
Probably all the
too.
secondhand
Yeah.
fucking weed smoke didn't help.
That's very true.
Got there and he couldn't understand a damn word he said because he's high as a kite.
Maybe Willie did have a whole bunch of useful information, and that's just what Danny Glover
That's all
heard.
he heard.
He was actually a reasonably looking man, and like Danny Glover just put the big like Jamaican shaman stereotype over him.
I think that look at the end there was just saying, I think what that giant chinchilla just told me is right.
So goddamn high right now.
I was checking the microfiche in the library. And I found this incredible story about these.
Oh my God. Bill Paxton's an actor.
Special forces.
And that other lady who does the signs is terrible.
So Harrington leaves, and Willie's like, "Okay, I'm gonna stay here and toss my bones until I die."
It's not a bad way to go.
episode.
That's me most weekends.
Plays a couple rounds with his bones, and then like the Predator in this movie, he is not sneaky at all. Like they should have found him in the warehouse because this is the least stealthy stealth guy.
He's sneaky when he doesn't want to be found.
Not really. Like you see some of his, like he got spotted by at least 2 people in that first scene he shows up.
Yeah, he was okay with that.
Maybe he threw the block down to get his attention, but I could only imagine he was perched on the ledge and his fat ass caused a rock to fall off. And then,
I mean, part of it's like he's wearing like his camouflage, but he's not like ever in front of anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true. Yeah,
I just see the wavy lines in the air. Like I can see the light being, like I don't know what it is, but I know something's there.
And later on, there's a really egregious, like, you made no attempt to hide there move he does. But so then he splashes down, and I will admit, the effect of, like, seeing his reflection as the Predator in the pool, that was real cool.
Yeah.
King Willie's like, okay, I'm just going to die now, and zoom in on my mouth. And,
he pulls out his cane sword, because that'll take care of a space asshole.
Mm-hmm. Well, better than just holding your bone.
Well, I mean, not necessarily, because the guy, if he was unarmed, everything we've seen up to that point.
We know that, but he did not. So.
Well, I don't think he would have been spared because I think Predator knows that he's the head of this like pack of killers or whatever.
I don't know.
But does the Predator care?
I mean, maybe the Predator's just high off his ass.
Well, the Predator does seem... The Predator puts this guy on his trophy wall, so he cares about this dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows he's special, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But also, he's the guy who already said, like, this thing can't be killed, this thing can't be stopped, you only see it when you're about to die. So I think he knew, like, I'm dead, but I'm going to go out like a pro.
Jamaica.
So we do get a real cool scene here of after he dies, we just see his severed head being carried, and then like, him getting kind of scalped and
his scream.
Cleaned.
Yeah, that was a cool.
His scream transitions into his open mouthed severed head. Being carried away.
And we're back in the Predator's lair as he's cleaning his skull to he polishes it up nice, puts in like a device that sucks the brains out. And
he sucked the brains out. I thought he was like having that like a coconut.
I don't think so. I don't.
No,
I
thought it was a
shows
machine.
what it does.
Yeah.
I thought it was a trophy cleaning machine.
Yep.
Oh,
and
see,
so
I thought he had a little snack while
he mounts.
I don't know what he did with the brains after, but
he mounts the skull on a skull wall, and you see a little bit. You're like, is that a xenomorph? That kind of looks like a xenomorph mouth, but I can't tell.
is that a rancor?
Because that wouldn't make any sense. Because they make it clear that xenomorphs should have a carapace and don't have an internal skeleton.
So
No, but I honestly, I am so glad. Like, Predator skull aside, that was one of the things that made me the happiest. Is like, oh, good, it's not just all humans. Because I'd be so mad if they just were like, yeah, Predator keeps, these massive hunters go around all the galaxy to keep coming to Earth to hunt people. I'd be like, fucking come on.
Well, these are just the Predator kids. So they got to get training, so they come to Earth. It's just a real popular hotspot.
I mean, that was what they said in Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
But no, regardless of that, though, the point is, at some point, they got to be fighting other things.
So now we see that Tony Pope reports that King Willie is dead, and what's his name here? Harrington decides to reconvene with the team. He calls they're at the scientist's office for some reason. Scientist is like, oh, the killer, he was recently in a slaughterhouse. And they're like, motherfucker. We found out about that a while ago and we forgot. So he tells Lambert and Leona to take the subway to meet them at the slaughterhouse district. He'll drive there, and we're on our way to the climax of this movie. And on the way, Danny Glover stops and looks at a taxidermy case, and then decides he's going to go to Danny's grave.
Do you get it?
And then,
Chuck Testa is the true Predator.
at the graveyard, we see there's like some parents, and they tell their little kid to stay in the car, don't do anything. So he's like, all right, leave the car and run around. Can do.
It's a kid.
In true 90s fashion, he's got a toy gun and he's shooting all kinds of stuff.
And a mullet.
Miss my toy gun mullet days. And sees a spookum just right in the graveyard, just right in front of him, hanging out in a tree. And like, you know, you see a spookum, maybe he wants candy. Who knows?
What is a spookum?
That's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
It's a spookum.
Okay.
I call them spookums.
Okay.
I was thrown off by his old folksy wisdom myself, but I got it.
Okay.
Just, need the ghost.
Pretty sure that's what Ray called that ghost that gave him a blowjob.
I think so.
That's his spookums.
So, anyway, the Predator's just like, should I kill this guy? That gun's not real. No.
He did offer me candy. No
yeah.
other human has offered me candy.
You know what? Pass.
You get a pass.
You know, fatten up, kid. A couple of years, I'll be back.
Yeah. He's like, guess what, though? Your parents are totally not going to believe that you just saw me. Go tell them. See what happens.
Yeah.
Also, guess what? I already killed your parents.
Yeah, your parents are already dead.
So we find when the Predator is not killing gang members, he goes to the graveyard, pretends to be a ghost,
Yeah.
just to watch one person try to
That's just what
explain
he
to
does.
other people that he saw a ghost.
Just what he does.
It's actual horror and psychological
I
horror.
just do it for the kids.
So now he came here to fuck around with Harrington for reasons. Like, he's like, I'm going to leave Danny's necklace hanging from a tree as you leave maybe Danny's badge, maybe your badge on the grave.
Yeah, I was
either way,
confused
don't
by that.
leave that there. Like, that's just
Yeah.
irresponsible.
It's L.A. What do you think would happen?
Yeah.
I was rather confused by that because the photo, like for Danny, that's a terrible photo of him.
Yeah.
And it very much focuses on Hardigan. So it would make more. It doesn't make a ton of sense
Yeah.
if that's Danny's photo, but if it's his badge, he's still a cop. You need to hold
Yeah.
on to that shit. Like,
But even if it's
can't just
Danny's
dump
badge,
it.
like, does Danny not have any family?
Yeah.
I mean, there is
Yeah.
that too. Also, like vandals and shit.
Yeah. Also, someone's just going to take that.
Yes. Yeah.
Later on that night, someone's going to commandeer someone's car, and it's actually
In
going to be a
Danny's
carjacking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
In Danny's name.
Can't give a badge to a cat, Joe. Who's probably already also dead at this point.
So now Harrington freaks out. We get some really like out of focus, disorienting camera moves, and he runs off.
Oh, I don't think the Predator was fucking with him necessarily. Mm-hmm. I think that was a sign of respect. I think he was, like
Yeah.
Danny seemed like a good guy. Here's a thing to put on his grave.
I think the Predator,
necklace.
maybe he's like, I like this guy, and he tends to take me to places where there's cool people to kill.
And that could be part of it
Yeah.
too. But yeah, I think it was, we're both hunters. We both,
Yeah.
you're showing respect for your dead. I'm going to help you out with
This
that.
belonged to your buddy.
Yeah.
I want you to have it. I tried my best to save him, but he pulled his piece on me.
Oh,
Joe just pulled his piece on
pulling
us.
your piece already. God damn.
Meanwhile, on the subway, we get this little comedy bit here where a gang is just walking around menacing random people, and they're like, oh, I'll go get this businessman here. Be like, why don't you give me some money so my buddy here can get like a transplant or something. And the businessman's like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'll just get my pistol. He's like, get the fuck away from me. They all pull their guns, and they're like, oh, what are my guns bigger? Ha, ha, ha.
And then they snatch his gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
But then,
what the fuck? You're just holding that with two fingers? Like, come on.
well, he looked like fucking Don Knotts. Like, he couldn't fight that guy.
It's all pretty lame.
And then this is like postal world where everyone has a gun. It's like the whole subway pulls their guns out on this dude.
Yeah.
Samurai.
Yeah. So now,
Dark times.
Leona and Lambert take charge of the situation. They're like, we're police. Everyone's just going to sit the fuck down and we're going to pretend this didn't happen because I don't want to fill out the forms. Predator's like, I'm going to kill everyone in this subway. I don't know why. How did I even get down here?
Yeah, this
It's a
is
whole
the
tin
one,
can full of guns. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is the one that makes the least sense to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like, why is the Predator there?
I think he was probably after Bill Paxton.
So
That's the only thing that makes sense, but
trying to
that
get to
doesn't
downtown.
make any sense. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, why would he be after Bill Pat? Like, what?
He's just going through he's going through all the gangs, and then he takes down their leader.
but he was just in the graveyard. Like he ran back and caught the metro and
Yeah.
got.
Didn't say that made sense.
He navigated the LA Metro to get in his ambush position.
Yeah. Like,
So
even on your track, like that is
Maybe
a
it
good
wasn't
take.
the same predator.
well, that's what I was just gonna say.
Oh.
Because we find out at the end there are multiple predators. And is this the work, like, is everyone here the same predator that's dealing with Harrigan, or is it multiple predators doing this?
At least based on the way the ending looked, I feel like the one predator that was like, Harrington, I want you, they would have just left him to do his own thing. That was his quarry. So they wouldn't have fucked with him.
I don't know. They all also have different masks, so I think the Predator had the same mask, but although he was invisible most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but every time we see him, it is the same mask. So I feel that at least implies that it was the same Predator.
Yeah, that could very well be.
So either way, everyone in this subway car has a gun. And now, granted, shooting into a strobe light is not a good idea, and it's very difficult to do. But, like, the Predator just walks into this car and begins murdering people. And he wears, like, barely anything clothing-wise.
He activated his bulletproof shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bullets
plot
just
armor.
bounce off of the Predator.
Like sparking.
Yeah.
Like legit.
I mean, he's got some pauldrons. He's kind of got a little bit of upper body armor.
But
That
it's
codpiece,
also-
I think, might be metal.
It's
but
also just his wide ass torso and
Yeah.
thick thighs.
But that thing is all torso, and it's not armored up
in
there.
a tube.
Well, also, yes, you were on the subway in between seats. Like the logical thing would be you're gonna aim in between those seats,
Yeah.
which is all, just torso.
Yeah.
Like the shoulder parts or whatever, like
Yeah.
those might
Yeah.
deflect bullets, but like you're probably not aiming there.
And if they weren't hitting the predator, they would have been hitting the people that were behind the
Yeah.
predator.
Well, that some of that does happen.
and there is more
Yeah.
Predator there than there is empty space.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Predator just kills a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And Bill Paxton gets 2 magazines to shoot at the Predator. And why the fuck he doesn't step into the other car that is not strobing
Yep.
and shoot from there?
I think he tried. Like I think he was trying to get the door open, and for some reason he couldn't.
Probably the same reason I let a tree fall on my head.
Also, why they don't pull the brake in the subway that I always complain about. They eventually do, but
Yeah.
pull it immediately.
That did bother me. Why she waited till like they got to the third or fourth
Yeah.
car or whatever, and then pulled it. Like fucking grab that the first fucking car.
But anyway, basically, he kills all the gang members, and then he gets Bill Paxton, runs out of ammo, so Bill Paxton throws his golf ball, and that doesn't do anything,
Well,
and
because he was supposed to throw the gun. That
Yeah.
works against Superman. So
but probably not against predators. And Predator,
Actually, doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But has anyone tried throwing a golf ball at Superman or a gun at the Predator?
Yeah, I think the putter.
well, throwing a gun at Superman will at least cause him to duck, because the
Yeah.
actor doesn't want to get hit
It
by
makes
the
him
pistol.
flinch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that.
But anyway, so Bill Paxton leaves the picture. Right now, he's just hung upside down, but it will get worse for him soon. But then Leona gets everyone else out of the subway, and she walks over to the car, and she sees a upside down dead Lambert, and is like, "Oh no!" and then turns around right into the Predator. Predator gets her up.
she's like, "Oh no!"
Oh no.
Predator gets her up like
Grabbing
he's going to
his
give her
balls.
the choke slam. And suddenly he's like, not only do I have infravision, I got prego vision.
Yeah.
Like, is this
meant
like an
ultrasound.
MRI? It could
Yeah.
go in layers. I don't know.
Ultrasound.
I could see your baby. Also, your baby is like ready to pop out. Like
she has no signs of pregnancy outside.
Yeah.
But she has like I would say 8 months and 28 days.
That's
baby.
in the third trimester.
I don't know.
baby.
It has happened. There was a case where a lady became pregnant, didn't
Yeah.
know it.
Those
and-
women are usually
Yeah,
obese.
super
well,
fat.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
When you're Leona's size, there's no way you're not noticing that.
It was tiny.
Particularly when you're not only just like smaller, but like she's a cop. I can't imagine you can do what normal cops do, let alone in this fucking war zone of LA,
Yeah.
without being like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is why I'm getting sick every morning. Like, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
You know.
So-
Although they did run to the slaughterhouse and not realize they should try looking inside of it. So maybe they are just that terrible of a detective. She doesn't even figure out she's pregnant.
So, either way, Predator's like, all right, I won't kill you, but you're going to go into shock. And what you call it? Then, like, we cut back to Harrington, and what you call it? He shows up, pushes his way onto the train. The captain's there. He's like, where's Jerry? They're like, we don't know. He's like, has anyone followed that blood trail? Everyone's like, nope.
On purpose.
Yeah. In fairness to everyone, they probably were like, whatever did all this left that blood trail, so I don't want to find it.
Yep.
But it does seem a little fishy that no one even noticed it. Either way, Harrington goes running after it and finds Lambert's body, getting its spine ripped out, its head and spine ripped off. And he begins like climbing up an elevator or something, and Harrington's climbing after him. And what we call it? Now we get the Predator at peak stealth. This motherfucker just runs across the street on car roofs, caving them in as he goes in front of a couple hundred people. Like,
Yep.
that was your plan, dude. Like,
Oh my god, it's so hot. Look what the cars are
Well,
doing.
he's it's a young predator. This
yeah.
He's just,
is his first hunt. He's not too good at it.
he's just getting it wet.
Well, as we find out, he gets struck by lightning on the regular, so it's starting to affect him.
That's also possible.
Yeah, because sure enough, what you would call it? He's running away across car roofs, right? And then Tony Pope tries to get some information out of Harrington. Harrington just punches Morton Downey Jr. right out of the movie. Harrington is also an accomplished ceiling tracker because he can drive down the street while looking at rooftops.
Yes.
And just track this thing.
He's actually like a gecko, so
Yeah.
one eye goes up and the other one goes down.
Which,
Sure.
in fairness to him, this thing sucks at being stealthy because it's destroying signs and whatnot, getting hit by lightning. I think at this point, it stops on the corner of a building and gets hit with a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the quickening. He's
Yeah.
holding the severed head in one hand and
Yep.
had his weapon in the other. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I-
that's...
It was Bill Paxton who had at that point had already been killed by an alien and a Terminator. So
Yeah.
he gave him the quickening.
It leveled up right there.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Also, I believe it was around here. It's probably through the whole movie, but I certainly around here, somewhere around here where I noticed it, we had another return, old friend, shall I say, to the podcast in the form of reused assets. Because the good portion of Predator sounds
Yep.
were tremor sounds.
Oh.
So,
Huh.
yay.
So yeah, they're
Here,
getting...
first episode, right?
that was second.
Second. Okay.
Beastmaster was #1.
Yeah. So getting struck by lightning.
I haven't seen either
I
of
think
those
that's a good
movies.
preview of like the 90s cinema because it's like in the 80s someone would be like, hey, him standing on the building yelling, that'd be a cool scene. But in the 90s there's always that guy that's like, we got to do something else, have him get hit by lightning, it'll be cool.
Yeah. Like maybe they
Right.
had lightning in the background initially.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really
Never mind, that makes him look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. That's kind of my review of this movie. It's
Yeah.
like, here's a cool scene. Let's make it that much cooler
Yep.
by hitting him with lightning. Like, no.
Incorrect.
No.
All right. So Harrington gets waylaid by the feds. They hit his car with their car. And they're like, now's the time to just reveal our whole operation to this man.
Sure.
I guess we don't have like a prison cell or anything in the trailer. So why don't we just take him inside and give him the tour?
And then ask him politely to leave.
Should we cuff him or zip tie him?
No.
We don't have those.
You would not part a wizard from his walking stick.
Just let him, we took his gun, but we're going to leave it within snatching distance.
Yeah.
That's still within arm's reach of him.
Make sure you put the scrawniest guy you can to guard him.
We got this giant Baldwin here. No, don't put him near him.
He needs to read that reading, that screen over there.
All right, so now Gary Busey walks in like a Jiffy Pop container.
You like my
You don't-
sexy
Or a
pajamas?
Capri Sun container.
Yeah, you don't immediately know why.
I'm space ice cream.
I'm gonna swim to the moon.
Freeze drying myself. He can't see you if you don't have water.
You want to hydrate me? Just lick.
So now
I take
Keys
all my meals in pill form now.
is just
You
like,
always did.
so this thing's an alien. It's got all this high tech shit. Arnold Schwarzenegger fought one and almost lost, and it like destroyed like 300 city blocks worth of jungle in Guatemala. So they're like, we're gonna fuck with it. We want to capture this thing.
And apparently it can survive being struck by lightning.
We work for Wayland Yutani.
So
No, they work for a much stupider sounding company.
I will say their plan is not immediately terrible. It's not like, in alien movies where they're like, this thing has acid for blood that eats through metal. So let's put it in a metal cell and not take the acid into account at all. These ones are at least like, okay, check it out. He sees heat, so we'll be in full thermal suits.
Yeah.
We'll put a bunch of radioactive shit in the air that will fuck with his vision, so he won't be able to see us. And the isotopes will cling to him, and he won't be able to cloak. So
we can see him.
We can see him, yeah. Be like, hey, do you think we should maybe, I don't know, make the doors lock so he's trapped in
No.
there? Maybe instead of having guys go in there, set like some traps? No, we're going in with liquid nitrogen guns.
Yeah. That are basically like fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I supplied them from my home.
I just watched Ghostbusters 2 and I got the idea.
And some of them do have machine guns.
That's also why I fucked the toaster.
But I will...
It's full of happy slime now.
He fucked a toaster? Yeah, all right, Tony?
So
I got myself with that one.
these flunkies, their plan is better than most bad
Yeah.
guy flunkies who are just there to get killed plans. I'll give them that. So Busey's leading the squad in there, and he's like, hey, now that I've told you everything, you might as well just watch.
Yeah.
Just stand here in this highly sensitive operation
Yeah.
and
I don't know
look.
if you need a coffee or,
Well, I mean,
Provide
be
color
fair,
commentary.
yeah.
he does at least appear to be captivated by all of this, and he seems to be like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens.
Well, he's like, when is a man going to put a pistol to my head and blow me away?
I will also say, to be fair to them, they're like, well, you're obviously not going to leave, so
Yeah.
They
We
give him
gotta
a
do
little,
something.
little fake plastic hat that says, the sticker on it says Junior Elf member.
Yeah, Busey was gonna induct him into the ranks.
spelled Alf wrong.
Thanks for visiting, kiddo.
So
You want some candy?
You want some candy?
That's why I go by the code name Gordon Shumway.
I don't know what's going on.
Actually, the show Alf is based on me when I visited a family.
Tony broke
Started
himself.
eating their
He broke
cat.
himself again.
Poor Joe.
I haven't seen
show.
Tony break before. That was great.
All right.
At least he's laughing.
So inside the warehouse, the Predator is immediately like, hey, this room's filled with radioactive dust.
And it ain't mine.
Yeah, maybe something's going on here. Also, these guys are
might be
loud
a
as
trap.
shit.
I can still hear you ask.
There's obviously people in here. So he diddles around with his computer and switches his vision mode into I can see beams of light now. So I
Which
can see
is
your spotlights.
the weirdest concept ever. Because, like, if you can see light, you see light.
Yeah, that's how
And-
vision works.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Weird.
either way, he can see them now. And he's like, I'm just gonna sneak over here. And like the six bad guys that have been tracking this thing for weeks now are like, he might be above us, but we should check down here.
I don't want to look up, man. That's-
One of you look up? No.
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 It's too, like...
Meanwhile, Jane Cobb is on the loudspeaker like, he's right fucking there.
Well, yeah, but I got this big knot in my neck
Yeah,
this morning.
See,
and
unfortunately,
I
Bill
can't-
Paxton died before he could warn them. Like, when the beeper says they're there, it
Yeah.
means look up.
Now, if one of them was Kevin Bacon and he's like, they're under the ground,
Oh, yeah.
that would explain it. Either way, the Predator just jumps in the middle of these guys, pulls out his extendo spear, and begins handing out murders.
Yep.
As he should. Like, the first couple guys are like, huh? And turn around,
Dead?
get stabbed. One of them tries to shoot him and shoots another guy. Gary Busey's main nitrogen line gets cut, so his cold gun doesn't work. And
Everybody chill.
Harrington's like, all right, I'm just gonna leave the trailer. This doesn't look like it's going well for your guys. And they're like, don't. And he's like, but I'm taking this gun. And they're like, oh, okay.
And he quote unquote grabs him by the neck, but he's just kind of like caressing his
He
neck.
is.
Well,
It's
yeah.
Like his
But
hands
also-
all over the place. It
That
just-
was the saddest moment. Like, he grabs the one guy by the neck. He's like, open the door. The guy's like,
Go fuck
you.
yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. And then he just kind of shoves him a little, and he's like, okay. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, you called my bluff.
Yeah.
So, Jaqual, meanwhile, the Predator's now like taking his time. He's getting the triangle on everyone with the lasers and hitting them with the plasma caster. And he's got a shot lined up on Busey, who takes off his helmet to flare his teeth at the Predator, which does buy him a little bit of
yeah,
time.
it's a little distracting.
Yeah. Predator's like, all right, make sure you don't hit those.
I want those on my wall.
So Danny
I
Glover
wish that was at the end of this movie.
throws a quick commando gear up montage in there. And now he's got the big guns. He's got like an M16 with like an M209 on the bottom of it. He's got a vest with a trauma plate. He's got a shotgun. He's got all this stuff.
Blows the wall open.
Just, blows the door in with a grenade.
I do like this part where the Predator turns to look at the explosion, then
Yep.
shoots at Busey behind. So
Yeah.
the turret is still like locked on
Yeah,
target.
he's
Yep.
I
essentially
dug
walking
that.
away
Yeah.
as the turret.
What
Yeah.
he did not account for was Gary Busey caught that with his teeth.
Yes.
Because we find out that Gary Busey is not down.
Yeah, no, he's fine.
He did a Bruce Leroy
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
The explosion knocked him out for a little bit, but
Here's the thing, they legit do like paint his teeth to look like
Yeah.
they're scorched.
One of them is, I believe, is missing, right?
One of them was,
Nah,
one of them looked
Or was
like
it
it
just
was
blackened?
blacked out,
Oh.
and then
and then most of it rubbed off as the scene
Yeah.
progressed.
yeah, and then they were just
Either
dirty.
way, it looked like he did in fact catch that.
Yeah.
also the plasma caster sets off the fire extinguishers or the
Yeah.
fire sprinklers, so he can't cloak. And he's like, all right, I guess I'll just take care of Danny Glover the old-fashioned way. And Danny Glover's like, I'm shooting everywhere. He's like, come get me, I'm right here. And his bullet happens to hit the plasma caster and disable that. And, the rest of the bullets kind of bounce off the Predator. And the Predator takes like his wrist launcher and fires some kind of shot from there that hits the Danny Glover's vest and heats up the plate inside. So Danny Glover loses his vest, drops the gun. So the Predator like throws him, and now Danny Glover's running through a big pile of meat, and the Predator's coming after him. And Danny Glover's like, "Wait, shotgun!" And he just shotguns the fuck out of the Predator.
He kills the Predator. Let's not. I mean, I don't care what the movie says.
Yeah.
He killed the Predator.
There would be large chunks of that Predator missing.
He got him like
Well,
at
it depends.
least 6 times.
Well,
Yeah,
if the implication is that without armor, handgun rounds will flak off of his skin, then it kind of makes sense that the shotgun rounds would probably go into him, but not
Well,
really.
shotgun rounds don't pierce any better than handgun rounds. They just have a much wider area of
Oh,
effect.
yeah.
Well,
Unless they're solid slugs.
I think he was firing slugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's the case, then the slugs are ripping into him. So either way, the Predator's down. He's just like, I need a minute. I'm going to rest down here. The water stops. Dan Glover's like, I should put more shells in this shotgun and then put them into you. But,
Absolutely.
yeah. I
Always
didn't-
double tap.
Yep. But he's like, instead I'm going to take your mask off. And he's like,
He
"You are-"
removes one plug, and that's all you need to
And knew where it was.
unsecure
Well,
the mask.
he's like, which one of these do you breathe through?
Yeah.
But it is weird. Like they specifically show he tries to take it off. He can't. He looks at the side. They specifically show like at least 3 different wires plugging it in.
Plus all the hair stuff.
And there's the hair, but then he reaches over and it's just like, well, this is the plug. Boop. And then it's just off. It's off now. Not even like both sides of the head.
No,
Nothing.
it's just one.
Either way, we now see the Predator's face, which we did see at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
But it's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's always cool.
It's
Then he's like-
vagina with teeth.
You are one ugly mother. And the Predator grabs him. And says, Motherfucker. I know that one. Throws Harrington, grabs his shotgun, and just shatters it like it's made out of, like rock or something.
Yeah,
or
I
glass.
think even with super strength, that's not what would happen.
I think it would definitely bend. I don't think
Yeah.
it would just shatter
No.
like that. It might tear in half, but it
Yeah.
wouldn't shatter to pieces.
The wood stock would probably
Yeah.
shatter away from the metal.
Yeah, you could probably separate like all the barrel and
But the wood stock also
receiver.
would splinter and not just like shatter like cheap plastic.
Yeah,
Because that's what that looked like.
Because they didn't want to shatter a real
Yeah.
shotgun. so
that's
they made one out of plastic for him to break.
Yeah.
instead.
Never mind. I was gonna give them too much credit.
So now Danny Glover's in trouble. He got hit hard. Harrington's down on the ground trying to collect himself. Predator's going to get him, but a wild Busey appears, and he's got a fire extinguisher. He's like, I really hope this does something to you. Like, shh. He's like, get out of here, Harrington. I'm saving your ass. I like you for some reason. And the Predator's just like, Busey,
I was
You
frozen
dumb
today.
I've had enough. Takes out his magic frisbee, throws it through like a whole bunch of slabs of beef and a Gary Busey, who I can only assume is tangled up in a beef slab.
Yeah,
because
you never
just
see
his
the
legs
top
fall,
part. Yeah.
and a whole bunch of
His
blood.
teeth caught it on the way
Yeah,
down.
that's true. He was gnawing into it.
Buried into
That
it.
It's just like in that other movie where you only see pants coming down.
He died.
that,
War of
or
the
I
Worlds.
kind of imagine he dies like Pac-Man and just the mouth just comes.
He died doing what he loved.
I think that's what gave the Predator the opportunity to draw that disc. Was he Busey got distracted and gnawed on the meat for a second. And the Predator's like, here's my chance. Either way, his techno frisbee thing, shack room, whatever.
It's cool.
It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
drone sort of bladey thing. And whatchamacallit, it
Xenomorph.
comes back to him, and the chase is on. And this movie, it loves its chase.
Yeah.
We are going to be chasing the Predator for a while.
Yeah. We do a lot of things for a while in this movie.
Yeah, we do.
So now we go up to the roof because, like, Harrigan's like, I'm out of here. Predator's like, I'm going to get you. So now he gets his spear out, extends the spear, and like we've already established that like the shotgun's not gonna stop you. The handgun certainly isn't. Just run up to him and stab him with the spear. But instead the Predator's like sneaky, throw the spear at you through like someone's air vent or whatever. Like the spear's out of play now. Well, that's not true. It's out of the Predator's hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Javelin.
And now all the Predator really has is his claws and the net. And then he just kind of, I guess because he needs his respirator, he's just sort of like, I'm not going to do anything for a little while. Just going to look around. Harrington, meanwhile, is getting scared by pigeons. Then he sees the spear, and he's like, oh, I could use the spear on the Predator.
Yeah.
Then he forgets how spears work, holds it horizontal, and just
charges
flying
him.
tackles the Predator.
He
Yeah.
gives him the wrestling spear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking Goldberg. And just stab him with the spear. That would have been it.
Yeah.
But no, the spear goes flying off the roof. They both go flying over. The Predator is now hanging off of Harrington's arm. And then his other arm is holding the techno frisbee, and that's buried in the side of the wall. And Harrington can't reach his gun. So he's looking at the Predator, and he's like, your move now, pussy face. And so Predator's like, self-destruct, I guess. Why not?
I mean, that burn was so hard. He just couldn't recover.
He's like, let's just end it here.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to hang off of you, Danny Glover, too, like, while this is happening. I could put my hand back on the disc. I could take the disc and kill you. I have a claw in my hand. I could kill you with that. No. Danny Glover reaches over, grabs Techno Frisbee, cuts the computer bomb arm in half, which I guess disarms the bomb, and sends the Predator just tumbling down.
Thank God that worked.
Yeah. The Predator grabs a drain pipe and crashes into some lady's bathroom. And Danny Glover now has to climb down this drain pipe, which, as you would expect, takes him a while. That gives the Predator a chance to use his kit that turns drywall into healing goop.
Mm-hmm.
Drywall and mirror.
In mirror.
In mirror, yeah.
Into like caustic, cauterizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I could actually see that. It can break it down and make it into something that'll act as a bandage. Seems reasonable. In fact, it hurts the shit out of him when he applies it.
Yeah.
As a drywall glass combo would do. And silver.
It's piping hot.
So now this old lady hears a scream coming from her bathroom, calls to her husband Herb to go deal with it.
Herb sucks.
Herb's just out. Well, he's watching Jeopardy. He fell asleep.
Yeah.
Herb goes to bed at 7.
Herb sucks.
Yeah.
He's
So
probably deaf. He's like,
yeah.
He's dead. He's just.
He might be
dead.
dead.
He
He's
might be
actually
actually
dead.
dead.
He's probably just pretending he's asleep so he doesn't have to deal with whatever
Well, yeah.
she's having.
But still, if he wants any of that tonight, he's got to.
He
Herb does
doesn't.
not want it.
He pretends his dick doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that,
I see.
There's a less than 0% chance he's hoping that there will be a robber that will kill her, and then he'll be good for the rest.
So the Harrington drops his gun on the way down.
Yep.
And the Predator, cauterizes all his wounds, gets some sort of shot out, and injects himself with something. And then I like that he bursts out the door of the bathroom. He doesn't even kick the door down. He kicks the door frame off of the wall and runs out.
And it's like a brick wall or something, too. It's just preposterous.
Yeah, this is another one I don't understand. Like, I know we're well past his stealthy phase of jumping on cars.
Yeah.
But he straight up, like, Kool-Aid mans his way out this door and then proceeds to just do a juggernaut run through the rest of the building.
yeah, well, he just
Like,
he
Just
just
save money,
injected
yeah.
himself with fucking hardcore stimulants.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Probably all adrenaline up right now. And
Jamaica!
so,
Is that why he went after the king?
Yeah.
Looking for
wanted
some
his
drugs.
stack.
Yeah.
I do like this little bit of bathos here, though, because, like, Danny Glover finally climbs in now, and he's, like, the woman's looking at him. He's like, it's okay. I'm a cop. And she's like, I don't think he gives a shit. And then he goes chasing after the Juggernaut down the hallway, who's not hard to track.
No.
And then the movie just gets weird. There's, like, an elevator,
Yeah.
and the elevator, like...
Somebody stop that elevator.
he's just go take the stairs, but he's like, no, I'm gonna cling to the elevator cord.
Or press the
Yeah.
button.
Press the
because
button,
elevator
yeah.
Works.
Yeah,
Just
the
call
elevator
the
works.
elevator.
Just assumed it didn't.
Because as soon as he gets in it, it starts going down. And in true New York fashion, the person going down is not
LA.
stopping that elevator. Or LA fashion. He's not stopping that elevator, even though someone's like, yo, stop the elevator.
But yeah, that is a thing to note as well, I guess. Originally, this movie was going to be in New York.
Yep.
Which would have made a lot more sense technically, but it was just too costly, so they said, "Fuck it."
So
We're in LA. It's LA.
the elevator shaft goes down to a hole in the floor that leads to a spaceship in a sewer.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Sure, why not?
This is sort of like a Jurassic Park T-Rex paddock. Like, I need a map. It
Again-
doesn't make sense.
Again, if this was originally meant to be set in New York, it would make a lot more sense
Yeah.
with those giant tunnels that they have underneath the city.
And a whole set of them that aren't used anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is where things can get very complicated because I think the idea is it's not so much a sewer, it's some kind of tunnel. Whether or not that was made by them landing the ship is debatable.
I mean, it's got graffiti on it and everything. So, like, did homeless
Yeah.
people just walk up to the spaceship and
I mean,
start graffitiing
probably.
all around it?
Yeah, it looked like they parked the spaceship in some sort of abandoned tunnel under
Yeah.
the city.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you're, yeah, never mind. Okay.
All right. So, either way, he's at the Predator ship, and it's a cool ship. Walk in,
It's a weird ship, though, because there's a lot of space that's just
nothing.
open, empty space.
Yeah.
With fog in it.
The fog is a little weird.
Yeah.
But they're like, we're not making that many Predator feet. We're just...
That
Well,
might have been part of it.
I also interpreted that as their natural,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they breathe.
atmosphere that is heavy in some sort of gas that is visible.
And they probably come from a really humid planet because they do like to hang out where it's hot. And they don't really wear much for clothes. All right, so either way, he's now inside the ship. He sees the trophy wall. He's just like, I don't even know. And then the Predator's like, net out of nowhere. Wah! Danny Glover, you're stuck to the wall. Danny Glover's like, I got a magic frisbee. Out of the net. And now it's just a straight up one-armed fight because you got one guy that's missing like half of his arm, and Danny Glover had a Predator hanging off of one of his arms, so that's his side. And it's just two one-armed men having a frisbee chakram versus claw fight. And the Predator's kind of getting the best of him for a while, but then he's just like, oh, I'm going to raise my claw up so high while you're kneeling down. I'm going to come down on it, give you the full, like, super claw pimp slap.
Classic mistake.
Yeah, and
Well,
Danny
he's
Glover...
waiting to hear it from the crowd.
Well, he gave
Yeah.
Danny Glover like a gut slash
Yeah,
that tore his shirt.
yep.
And Danny Glover pretended like it actually landed on flesh and was like, "Oh, I'm done."
I'm going to do the big killing move.
Yeah.
Danny Glover's like, magic frisbee to the chest.
Surprise!
And the Predator's like, "Wah!" And he's like,
Yeah,
the Predator's still like, "Wah!"
yeah. Which I thought was that Predator. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm dead, but this claw is coming down.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
drop the arm on him. Kick him, do something. Like, it goes for, it's like a solid minute of like Danny Glover, Dark Man, the
way too
elephant,
long.
the chakram, and the Predator are all screaming. And then, like, he finally pulls the chakram out and the Predator dies. And now Danny Glover's like, all right, that happened.
Well, he goes to check,
Yeah,
and it's like, are you dead? Doesn't do a double tap.
yeah.
Again.
Didn't learn his lesson.
It's just like, cut his head off.
Yeah.
now.
Because also,
He's like, there's a canyon in your torso, I guess.
no,
You're
no,
dead.
no. Because that's the problem, and it also with what Brick just said. He goes to check. Check what? You don't know what he breathes. You don't know how he breathes. He's an alien. You don't know how he functions. Cut him into little pieces until you are certain he can't get back up.
At least put the chakram to his neck.
Yeah,
like
at the very least.
But then Triangle Laser shows up, and way more predators arrive. Whole bunch of predators.
A whole toy line of predators.
Oh, is his dad, is his uncle, and his cousins.
And you're like, oh man, Danny Glover, you're in it now.
Judging from everything else we talked about, I'd say it's more the scout leader, and these are all the Boy Scouts that were going on their first hunting mission.
Well, that was his dad, uncle, and cousins.
Wow,
So
wow.
Harrigan's like, all right, which one of you's first? And
He drops the chakram.
not
Dumb move.
not a good move.
Well, I don't know. Again, he's not doing anything with that at this point.
He's just like, all right, fine. There's no way I'm
Yeah.
winning this now. Just kill me.
It's the same thing with, like, you get the chakram in the predator's chest. The predator should have slashed him. It's the same thing with Danny Glover. It's like, why drop the chakram? You're fucked, okay. But you're not any less fucked dropping the chakram.
Well,
The exhaustion of what happened probably came over him. And
Yeah.
and also he might not have known it, but that might have unfucked him because that might be why they didn't just shoot him.
Yeah. So some predators walk forward like they're gonna, do the job to finish him off, but instead they grab the dead predator and they're like, "We're taking this guy, and we're leaving." And all the other predators are walking away and they're cloaking and Predator Dad is like, "Hey, I got this cool pistol I carry around for like the last 300 years. You have it."
He was covered in trinkets, so he's been collecting all kinds of fun shit.
Yep. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to take a guess that A, you've seen the movie Prey.
Yes.
And B, this pistol is in the movie Prey.
Yes.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yes.
Because why wouldn't it be?
Yep. I mean, that one's not so bad.
Yeah. But it's just
But
like...
it is that we can't help ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, all right. Danny Glover's like, "Thanks for the gun, I guess." And then the engines are starting up, but the Predator's not like, "Get out of here." So I was thinking while I was watching this, I'm like, what if the Predator's just like, "You can hang around if you want. I don't know. Like, we're going to go kill some,
You're one of us
stuff
now."
somewhere else. Yeah. That guy's dead. You could have his spot.
Yeah.
And that might be it. It'd be like, that's your choice. You either run out of here or, you could stay and become a space asshole with the rest of us.
I mean, they don't say.
Again,
so who knows?
in the comic book lore, I think that does happen with some other human.
Yes.
So
How long was the comic for this? I didn't even know there was a comic.
Not just for this, but there was a Dark Horse, I believe it was, put out a Predator series, I think an Alien series, and an Alien vs. Predator series, and
if I remember right, at a certain point, a Predator tried to kill Batman.
yes.
Yeah, a couple of
That's
times.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
Not as stupid as Superman versus aliens.
That also happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
all
Batman
these things have
versus
been around long
aliens.
enough that anything stupid you could think of pretty much has happened. But
So yeah, the ship blasts off so we could get our obligatory hero running against the blast shot. Mm-hmm. He wakes up in a dust pile covered.
Very much like Arnold at the end of the first movie, covered in ashes.
Neither one of them would have survived that, but anyway.
So, the government agency shows up. Jane Cobb comes running out, and Danny Glover's just like, "Not now, Baldwin. Just fucking get out of here." Also, the cops are coming, and you don't have Gary Busey anymore, so they're not afraid of you. And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go," and he gets in his helicopter and leaves. He's like, "We were so close," and then foreshadowing. Harrington's like, "Don't worry, you'll get another chance." Roll credits.
And
No stinger.
quite a long time.
Yeah. And that's Predator 2. How exciting. Did Rotten Tomatoes take the time out of their precious idle day to...
Rotten hanging corpses.
Sure. Rotten
Rotten.
to the core.
All right. But yes, RottenTomatoes.com did have this on there, unsurprisingly. Critics gave this a score of 29%. Audience gave this a score of 44%. That's their thoughts and opinions. How about we start with the sweet baby boy Brick?
I kind of like the movie. I didn't really have any problems with the movie. It seemed more Hollywood than the original Predator. The original Predator, I was really into the world and took it more seriously for some reason. This one I didn't really take very seriously.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
Can't imagine
And-
why.
Yeah, and I felt like I had a good time. There's movies that action movies that I've enjoyed more than this, but I'd say it's fine. I'll give it like a, I don't know, C plus, B minus, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Which do you prefer out of the two?
Don't fuck this up.
I almost feel like they're in two completely different genres. Because it's such a stark difference between like take it seriously and not take it seriously. Like this felt like an action movie, whereas Predator 1 I felt like was trying to be more than just a have fun watching this kind of thing. It involved me more somehow. I don't know.
Okay.
I'd say that's fair. That's what makes it a better movie for me.
So you recommend it?
Yeah, it was fun.
So John,
Yeah. I don't hate this movie. I don't love this movie. It's acceptable. There's some good gore. There's a predator. So I'm having fun. But yeah, compared to the original, I think it falls short. But I'd still recommend you give it a watch. I don't feel hurt in any way by watching this. And I'm entertained enough.
Joe.
Yeah, I don't think the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes are fair. Like, this isn't a good movie, but it's fine. Like, it's enjoyable enough. There are some parts where you're like, come on, movie. But, like, the movie also gives you some real cool stuff. So, obviously, like, downgrading from Arnold Schwarzenegger to Danny Glover that's a huge downgrade for an action movie. Then, like, the cast of characters in the first Predator versus the characters in this one, it's like night and day. I mean, and it had so much big shoes to fill. Like, the first Predator is one of like the 5 best action movies, I think, and this is not. So, yeah, I mean, it's like a C plus for me. But I have real fond memories of this because one time while it was really late and we were really slappy, there was a girl I was watching it with that we watched the whole final chase scene. And for whatever reason, whenever the Predator jumped out at Danny Glover, we were like, Danny Glover, give me some candy. And for some reason, we thought that was the most hysterical thing in the world at the time. And, like, I'd be like Danny Glover. I'd be like, no, I don't have any. And he's like, give me some candy. And I don't know why that was hysterical. But I remember the fun we were having. And that, like, adds nostalgia points to this for no good reason. But I can't help during that chase to just think about the Predator really wants some candy from Danny Glover.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I recommend it. It's not the Predator. I mean, it's not Predator, and really like
It's also not the Predator.
yeah, it's watch it every so often, but most of the time you should just watch Predator instead.
All right. Rob.
I mean, I'm gonna basically mimic what everyone else here has said for the most part. Like, it's fine. It definitely drags on a lot for me. And I found myself kind of like just getting bored with it a little bit. But at the end of it, it's knowing what comes after it. Definitely, this is not terrible by any stretch. It's a perfectly serviceable sequel, and it didn't just do the first movie over again, which I appreciate. It was different, you know. So
It
yeah,
added to the world.
yeah. So I'll give it a light recommend. Also, Gary Busey.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be in the same camp of everyone else. Really, I give a lot of credit to the cast because you got Bill Paxton, you got Gary Busey, you got Danny Glover. Which, yeah, for an action movie, it's not the best choice, but he's still a really good actor. But that's kind of the whole thing with this movie. It is, again, we got the guy who was like, I'm going to make a sequel to Nightmare on Elm Street. He made Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Child.
Super Freddy.
Yeah, that's basically what you're bringing to the table, and that's what shows in scenes like the subway when everyone's pulling out a gun and kind of getting goofy shit like that. And, like, you don't really need it, but I can't fully say it doesn't hurt the movie, but it doesn't kill the movie. Like, it doesn't make it terrible, doesn't make it unwatchable, but it's no Predator. But yeah, so it's a light recommend. It's where I almost fight with like having that be the system, because like I can't really recommend people need to go out and see this, but this is definitely one where I wouldn't be like you shouldn't watch this. So, but well, I think that's by decree means our vote for recommendation here is Predator 2.
Yeah, light recommend all around.
But if you haven't seen Predators, watch Predator instead.
Yeah, watch the first one.
Well, and Predators is underrated.
I also stand by Predators. I also haven't seen it in a while. So
Yeah, I haven't seen anything beyond. I think the Alien versus Predator one was first, right?
There were two Alien vs. Predators.
The first, the one where they're in the Arctic.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah, I know I've
think
seen
that came
one.
out before Predators.
yes,
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't really seen any of the recent entries.
I mean it really is diminishing return.
Pretty much.
I don't know anything about Prey. I've heard that was pretty good.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
that's
Prey
okay.
was good.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll roll one of these fine films. And who's doing that?
Joe.
And
Oh, it's my role.
grab that dice.
Tell you what's going to happen right now. I'm going to fuck this up. Grab that pouch.
Grab that side.
Give the dice a roll.
You must roll it.
Let's see.
Don't be a butthole.
You must
D20
roll
of
it.
fate or the other D20.
Roll both. Take the highest one.
Can't roll with advantage.
Only in your birthday.
I'm going to roll with the gold one. Yosh!
Oh, 10.
That's 10, yeah. That's kind of cocked.
Kind of
but-
cocky.
Yeah, that's cocked 10. What the hell is that? I don't even know what that movie is.
So that was 1991's Stone Cold.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if I've seen this all the way through, but I've certainly heard of it. We got another action movie coming our way, boys. Well, that's exciting. All right.
I'm a little afraid.
Oh, don't be afraid. It's just going to be lots of fun. So, that's going to do it for this
believe you.
episode, everybody.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening.
Phones away, guys.
Please do.
Please let us finish, for fuck's sake.
If you enjoyed what you heard, please do subscribe to the podcast. If you have any questions or comments, please hit us up on Gmail at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. And that's it. We'll see you next time for Stone Cold. Bye.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Jamaica.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, and if possible, leave a review. If you have questions, comments, or would like to sponsor an episode, email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, you can buy a t-shirt, hoodie, and more at Teespring. Or gain access to exclusive content by becoming a patron at patreon.com/4ampodcast. Thanks again for listening. See you next time.